again decisions and policies, and I hope that this severe fuel scarcity that we're experiencing will come to an end very soon, because the president is the minister of petroleum, and I think one of the something you could fall a bit this administration is the fact that when things are tough like this, the people deserve to know why we have it. Is it that their maintenance at the depots? Is it that the people importing the, even though they said NNPC is the only sole importer right now? Is it that the independent marketers are not making supplies on time? Is it that the distribution link is faulty? Is it that the tankers are not lifting fuel? What actually is causing this scarcity? I bought fuel for 910 naira this morning. That means for 10 liters it was 9,100. It's crazy. I mean, we can go on at the Nigerian judiciary and the burden of full justice delivery. It's a simple conversation. Yesterday, Justice WG=SOᴚsAᴘᴘ bowed out in the most amazing way. Yesterday, I took my time and I went through some of the activities of the immediate past Chief Justice of Nigeria in the last 2.5 years, less than 3 years rather, than he was president of the Supreme Court. Within the time he was president, there were a lot of reforms in quotes, that you could come out and say, yes, this and that. First of it, it's been years that the issue of the welfare in terms of, payment or the take-homes of the judges, the Supreme Court judges, it's been a long time coming. But some of those have been reviewed. Just a couple of days back, the president signed the new salary structure of the judges into law, and it's something you could want to applaud. You also need to look at the local government autonomy debates and that landslide judgment. The Supreme Court took that decision and it unsettled the political structure that are comfortable with milking all of the largesse that are supposed to go to the people at the local government level. Now, over 20 states within the course of the next 5 months conduct local government elections. These were states that have not had local government chairman for 10 years, for 13 years, for 6 years. I mean, it's crazy. All of a sudden, they've all woken up. They start selling form. Their state independent electoral commission had conducted primaries. Now they want to conduct for the very first time. The Supreme Court has 21 statutory judges as expected in the Act. They're the first time. You also need to look at some of this conversation, but more importantly, when he was giving his valedictory speech yesterday, he made mention of the fact that the institution of the Supreme Court has been severely abused by some of the cases that have been brought towards it. Yes, Justice Awola talked about the fact that some of these cases should end at state courts. It shouldn't even get to the appeal court, or it shouldn't even get to the Supreme Court. That the way some of these people have been able to move around this had constantly reduced the sanity of the institution of the Supreme Court, which I totally agree to it. He also talked about conflicting judgments, which I think is one of the problems that we have in this country. But more importantly, he talked about the fact that justice is not a privilege, it is a right. Now we have the second female chief judge of the Supreme Court since the former chief judge, Justice Mukhtar. Now Justice Kekereekun is coming up on board. And I'm going to be setting the conversation with my guest today. He's a lawyer as expected. And we're going to be looking at the time that the immediate past Chief Justice of the Supreme Court was there. What were the things that should have been done? Because, again, you look at the independence of the judiciary in this country. a situation where the president, even the presidency was celebrating the new salary structure of the judges. And I'm asking, is it not a case of who pays the piper dictates the tune? Should you have an independent body that would be serving the responsibility of fixing the salaries of these judges? It's simple. Should it be that the executive will still approve the budget of the judge of the judiciary, and all of these bodies are supposed to be independent of each other? Why should the president still be deciding what these judges are taking home? Why should the president be appointing the chief judge? I understand that it's basically just ratification and all of that, but we've seen instances where a lot of us cannot easily forget the case of former justice or Onogen, how everything became really politicized, but it's really important that now that we have Justice Kudirat Kekereekun as the acting chief justice of Nigeria, pending the approval by the Senate, what are the key reforms that we're expecting within the judiciary of Nigeria? It is really important. So, Barrister Rotimi George joins me on the show today via phone, and together we're going to look at some of these issues and other matters that we may want to talk about. Barrister Rotimi George is from the Rotimi George and Company, immediate past secretary of the Nigerian Bar Association Bukuru branch. He joins us on the show today to look at the Nigerian judiciary and the burden of effective